basic services nor conduct the administrative effectively. Hence, the ANC, we support the measures that have been undertaken by the department that are put in place by Provincial Treasury in the implementation of financial recovery plans as municipalities in financial distress. Zero tolerance to administrative incompetence will result in a turnaround. We cannot speak of financial recovery when municipalities are agents responsible for helping government achieve its objective, find themselves in a perpetual crisis. Honorable Speaker, we must continue to improve in the work that we do and be accountable to the public that has entrusted us with responsibility to lead. We cannot afford the luxury to dilly-dally when we are supposed to be accelerating service delivery to deliver quality infrastructure and advance the interests of our people. This can only happen if we take care of our financial resources so that our people benefit from the allocation of this resource for reasons and purposes that they were appropriated for. As I move towards conclusion, Honorable Speaker, I wish to respond to the following sentiments made by honorable members. The concern that they continue to have. And first thing before, maybe I must also appreciate the expression by the MEC in terms of the preferential procurement regulation, the PPR 2022, which was approved in November 2022 and has been effectively implemented from the 16th of January 2023. Regrettably, our honorable members selectively chose not even to appreciate what this initiative are for because they are transformation oriented and because they are anti-transformation. Honorable Speaker, I also wish to bring to the honorable members here to section 154 of the Constitution, which directs that provincial government support, there must be provincial and national support to strengthen capacity of municipalities. It is the Constitution that directs as such. So we cannot come here and deliberately ignore what the Constitution directs. Unless we want to go to national parliament and mobilize, that this section must be removed from the Constitution. It is within this context that you will continue to see the provincial government intervening in various municipalities. Whilst we also wish to appreciate the enforcement of Section 18 of the PFMA regarding the monitoring of infrastructure delivery and performance, which emphasize the need for site visits processes, which the department has just pronounced their commitment to intensify to various infrastructure projects, especially with the utilization of the drones. We hope this will really help to deal with this incomplete project that we come across when we visit various communities. We also wish to welcome the recent pronouncement by the President to centralize recruitment of municipal managers as a means to address skill efficiency, which have resulted to break down in internal control. We also wish to welcome the initiative pronounced about the embarking on intensive training of all bid committees by the department. It's our view that this will assist in ensuring that we have people with proper skills that will be able to withstand the challenges. It is also imperative that all of us, regardless of political affiliation or personal interest, we must restore a sense of common purpose we urgently require and not just play to the rafters. Honorable Diplomat, everything you have presented here does not present a paradigm shift in terms of the mindset. You are still held up to the past, and it's a new party, and I don't know why you are so traditional in terms of dealing with issues when you say you are a younger party. You could not even know the difference between measurement of administrative KPIs. You want to politicize KPIs. They are actually administrative. They are not political. We thought it would actually help to contribute to the people of the Northwest in our understanding for what it means by the KPIs. It has been reported in the committee that the department has achieved 100% of its KPIs. And that is the only yardstick you can measure the performance of the department without being politicizing and saying the department has not achieved what they had said to achieve. Honorable Theolog, you always, there's a need as you speak that we really need to look into coming up with a manner to reconcile administrative assessment as against political sentiments. Because what we have just presented are purely political sentiments. There's no academic assessment that we could pick up from what you actually said. In fact, you're trying to look for a circle within a corner, which you know does not exist. There was no voice when the Jobota was deteriorating.
Honorable Sibiho, there's a hand.
Speaker, I want to check if the member will take a question. He just said something very interesting.
I really would have
This
to,
is,
but I'm just working on the speaker's time now. My time has lapsed.
Thank you very
we
much.
hope we can always
As
engage.
you really now conclude, Honorable
Yeah, but
Sibiho.
that 30 seconds of mine. No, it's okay. I just wanted to, Honorable Theologo, DA was very quiet when that very same municipality was going down. Their interest was just watching how it will impact on their business people that side. As soon as they were affected, there was too much noise from the DA. But that's who you are and what we know you to be. And I thank you, Honorable Speaker. On that note, the ANC wish to support the adoption of the budget of the Provincial Treasury as proposed, 2023-2024. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Sibiho. All the honorable members. All the honorable members. Honorable Nell, you have 4 minutes. You have been doing very well, Honorable Buhatsu, since the beginning. You have been doing very well. Honorable Sonakile, please. Honorable Buhatsu have been doing very well. Honorable Nell, you have 4 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, esteemed guests. Madam Speaker, on a lighter note, I know on Tuesday and today, you gave Honorable Sebejo 3 or 4 minutes extra. So can I also please have? Honorable members.
Honorable Nell, let
Yes,
me address you. That is not true. I don't do that. Every time when a member is speaking, I'm very much generous. When I'm saying round up, you must know that your time is up. In fact, the honorable member that had more minutes is Honorable Theologo. It's not even Honorable Sibiho. Please be fair, because that statement is misleading. I'm not biased.
Madam
Thank
Speaker,
you very much. Proceed.
I started my statement to say it's on a lighter note.
Oh, I did not hear that part, Honorable Member. Askis, proceed.
No problem, Madam Speaker. Honorable MEC, Provincial Treasury and you as the political head and the HOD, Mr. Kunene, must be commended for always appearing before the Portfolio Committee. There is cooperation and you usually answer our questions directly and speak to the issues. Something which is alarming is the financial recovery plans of Naledi, Ramotsweri Moila, Ditsa Botlak, Gitling Rivier, Dr. Arise, Makwasi Hills, Mamusa, Matlosana has not been finalized. How long will these plans take to finalize? The Provincial Executive Representatives, PERs, has been deployed to most of these municipalities, and there should be urgency to finalize these plans. Honorable MEC, you spoke about Mamusa and Matlosana not having PERs. I want to remind you that the appointment of the previous PRs took, I think, more than 3 years, according to your last media statement. In South Africa, we have 3 different spheres of government. Municipalities function autonomously regarding to finance. And with the new interventions, what input will councillors on ground level have regarding the finances of their own municipalities? Being democratically elected, being accountable to the people who voted for them, how will this breach be crossed with the province intervening as is currently the status quo? How will the balance between democracy, accountability, oversight, and this intervention be kept? Honourable MEC, you acknowledge shortcomings. One shortcoming this department having a relatively good audit outcome, is how this department, being the financial custodian over departments, entities, and municipalities of the whole province, cannot influence these same departments, entities, and municipalities to a greater level of governance and sound financial practice. Debt collection is a huge problem at our municipalities. Honourable MEC, you did not touch that subject. As the Provincial Treasury, I believe there is a responsibility from this department to address this issue. As I said to the Koksta MEC, Honourable Malui, and I think this is part of Treasury's oversight role, billing systems and records management systems are not functioning at municipal level and have not been functioning for the full 5 years with you as the political financial head of the Northwest. This must be addressed. If it's not addressed, municipalities will further deteriorate, as it deteriorated for the last 30 years under ANC rule. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Nell. You are done. Thank you, Honorable Khosho. You have 10 minutes to close your debate.
Musa Khotla, tla ke go leboga gape, my dearest sister. Madam Speaker, let me appreciate the comments made by the chair of the Portfolio Committee, as well as the whip of the African National Congress, Honorable Keso. I appreciate the comments and the council, and also my former chief whip and the chairperson of SANCO, Honorable Sibihwe, for making your comments constructive and also giving constructive criticism, because as the ANC-led government, we are always standing on in making sure that we accept criticisms, we take advices. That is why from time to time we have our lekgotlas of the ANC, we have the caucus lekgotla in reflecting on ourselves. So self-reflection is not wrong, actually. It helps us to advance the National Democratic Revolution. So my sincere thanks to you, comrades. Let me get to my colleagues in the legislature and honorable members of the Portfolio Committee. Honorable Dikolomela, I can understand because you are not a member of the Portfolio Committee. You don't understand the role and functions of Provincial Treasury. So I sympathize with you, my dear sister. So your criticism is understandable. And I understand. You can't even understand the role into the Public Finance Management Act, the act itself, which governs financial management. So you could not relate even the roles and responsibilities in line with the PFMA, roles and responsibilities of heads of departments. So I do sympathize with you. I understand that. I am not going to attack you. I sympathize with you. We are going to elections. Secure position. So I sympathize with you. So you don't understand what is meant, the role of this budget speech today. You don't completely, and you are lost. You've lost the opportunity to express the position of the EFF. Unfortunately, the ANC-led government will continue to give that perspective on your behalf.
Hold on, Honorable Khosho, there's a hand.
Honorable Speaker, I just want to check if Hopela, is it parliamentary? Because
Thank you very much, Honorable Bohatsu. There's nothing unparliamentary with Hopela. Proceed, Honorable
Mare,
Khosho.
Honorable Dikolomela Nasa Opeli.
May you please
She
take
was
your
debating.
seat. May you please take your seat, Honorable Member. Thank you. Proceed, Honorable Khosho.
Thank you for your protection, Madam Speaker. Honorable Khotla, I will not stoop to your level. You are still new in this session, so I understand. Let me talk to respond through you, Madam Speaker, to what my long-term friend from the DA, Honorable Theologo, is talking to. You've raised a number of issues. And part of those issues that you are raising, I understand you are in opposition. The role of the opposition is to oppose, nothing else. That's your responsibility. You must demonstrate to your elders and your handlers of the DA that you are opposing the budget. That's all that you are doing. So as the African National Congress will continue to be on course. And as you oppose...
There's a hand, Honorable Khosho, Honorable Sonagile.
Yeah, Speaker, I want to find out, is it parliamentary to say that we have handlers in the DA?
Take your seat.
What is handlers? Leana, she's embracing her handlers in the ANC.
Order, Honorable
No.
Sonagile. Order. I'll
Hey,
come
my
back
former-
to that
my-
in the next sitting. Proceed, Honorable Khosho.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. But my former a technical advisor, legal advisor, who jumped to the DA, don't be irritated. Don't be irritated. Allow me to respond. Just allow me to be patient. Allow me to respond. Madam Speaker, Honorable Theologo made mention of the matter of Ntate Jiwo. And yes, she has written us a letter. We've responded to your letter, Honorable Member. You are well aware of that. When you spoke, I never interjected. Let's have respect for each other. We are friends, but respect me.
Order, Honorable Theologo,
Have
please
respect on me.
allow the member to be here. Proceed, Honorable Hosho.
Yeah, I've allowed you to speak and I never interjected you. Just respect me. So we have received your letter. We responded to your letter. And Madam Speaker, I can see that she's very impatient with how we are dealing with the matter of GWA, the Accountant General. Because we are following the labor relations processes. And we will go through that exercise until to the end. Just to allay your fears, Honorable Theologo, we have commenced with the internal investigation and would subject the official consistently with the labor relations laws, and a fair process and disciplinary process will be followed through. And will continue to be objective and will not be guided by a media statement of the Democratic Alliance. So, Honorable Theologo, just allow us the process, the undue process to follow, and the applicable labor laws. And once that it is concluded, we'll be able also to respond to you. You have made mention of the support to municipalities. Again, my friend, my dear colleague, you know I've served with you in the previous administration. And I just want to clarify you. You know it's important to do proper interpretation of legislation. Because we are talking about mandatory intervention, and you are well aware that we had the one-on-one with you, where you asked me in the kitchen when you had lunch, lunch during our legislature break. You asked me about the mandatory intervention. I tried to clarify it to you. We have just seconded the expertise to the municipalities with effective of March in this year. In the last 2 years, we've been doing status quo assessments, and we had to go through that process. And you know that after the local government elections, we had to go back to the new councils to take them on board and took them through induction. And this is what we've been reporting to the Portfolio Committee chaired by Honorable Mufton. And you've always been present in those discussions. So you are taking advantage of this platform. You are just trying to demonstrate that we are not doing anything, and there's a lot that we are doing in those municipalities. With the audits the skills audit that we've done, you are correct. We have intervened. That is why we started to do partnership with Salga to start to have learnerships in those BTOs, because we want to professionalize local government. And that is a journey. It's a long journey. It's just like municipalities that are in financial crisis. Municipalities that are in financial crisis is going to take us, I said it to the Portfolio Committee, it's going to take us almost 3.5 years to get them stable. That is why we are continuing to do a business rescue plans for them, so that as and when they adopt the budget are unfunded, but there are rescue plans. And that's why we have those EXCO reps there. Honorable Nell, thank you for your criticism. Very constructive. Yes, we are going to have an oversight committees. In terms of the induction that we've conducted with the manual, calls that there must be an oversight committee, multi-party oversight committee, municipalities. And we will be following through, because municipalities have to establish that through the speakers. That is why speakers have been part of the induction, because you'll have a multi-party committee, that Section 79 committee, to oversee this process. And on monthly basis, the EXCO rep together with the mayor, they'll take the report to the council. Once it's from the council, at the provincial level, Honorable Premier is the chairperson of the Oversight Committee. The MEC for Finance must table that report through the Oversight Committee, chaired by Honorable Premier, and the member is part of that Oversight Committee is MEC Malloy. So I'll account through that Oversight Committee. Once we are done and processed through the Oversight Committee, the report is taken through the Executive Council, where we'll look into the remedial action and ensure that all our EXCO reps are going to follow through those remedial actions. Honorable Land, you must go and look to the profiles of those EXCO reps that we second. All of them, most of them are above 50. They've seen it all. They have seen it all. And I believe that they will take us to the right path. The youngest person there, I think, is about 42 years, who's in Makwasi now. And we are committed that We'll continue to respond to the issues that you've raised. You have been raising continuously in terms of the system that we need to strengthen. I will engage with Honorable Mabui because he has also responded to your matter on Tuesday. I think the concerns that you've raised in terms of how we strengthen the systems of accountability around municipalities, in terms of tracking issues of compliance, I agree with you. I think you are not raising it for the first time. And I will, in partnership with the COCTA, will look at that and see how we start to plan and strategize around that. But we will continue to give reports as well to the portfolio committee. Madam Speaker, let me take this time just to thank all members who have participated in this debate. And this was a departmental budget speech. It was not a provincial budget speech. It was an appropriation for the department, not for the provincial government. Departments have done their budget speeches. You had an opportunity to raise some of these issues because accounting officers, each and every department has an accounting officer. Honorable Dikolomela and Honorable Theoloko, my dear sisters in the struggle for women's leadership. So we are doing a budget for the department. So each and every department has an accounting officer and a CFO. And when you participate in those committees, go and raise those issues in those committees. And I always say this, Honorable Theoloko, because you are part of this portfolio committee. Thank you very much, honorable members.
Ra leboga, o sampe o le hao. Honorable MEC, please come back. Please come back. Honorable Theoloko, please don't do that to Honorable MEC, your friend. She's now leaving the stage without being authorized to do so. Thank you very much, honorable members. Re tla tswalla pele. Re bala maina a batlotlegi gore re ikgotsofatse gore re lekane ka palo go ka fetisa lenaneo le la ga MEC e seng la puso mare la lefapha. Honorable Bogatsu.
Ke teng speaker and ga ke ikamanye.
Thank you, Honorable Bogatsu. Honorable Tswaile.
Present and fully supported. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Tswaile. Honorable Danji, present. Honorable Dikolomela.
Present, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Bishop Liso.
Present, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Kleinhans. Honorable Ntate Muruti Lehari.
Present, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Lenkopane. Honorable Tonakholoma Ape.
Present, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Maloi, the leader of
Ke teng Musa
governance
Kgotla.
business. Honorable Maloi, fela pele gore Musa Kgotla o fetsa leng. Honorable Maloi, the leader of governance business.
Ke a re ke teng Musa Kgotla. Go etsagalang?
Thank you, Honorable Maloi. Thank you. Honorable Mataboge, COC.
Present.
Honorable Micha, the DS.
Ke teng Musa Kgotla.
Thank you, Honorable Mohono.
Ke teng Musa Kgotla.
Honorable Milwa. Honorable Mokhutlwa. Honorable Chief Whip of the House and Chief Whip of the Majority Party, Ntate Lazimo Khosi.
Present, Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Mulapisi.
Ke teng Musa Kgotla.
Thank you, Honorable Mosenugi.
Ke teng Musa Kgotla.
Thank you, Honorable Mutsumi.
I'm present, Speaker.
Thank you, Ntate Mutswana.
Present, Musa Kgotla.
Thank you, Honorable Nell.
Present, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Kleinhans.
Teenwoordig, Honorable Speaker.
Enkosi. Honorable Rabotapi.
Present, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Khosho.
Ke gone Musa Kgotla.
Honorable Sambata.
Ikona somlo.
Honorable Mogogi Resibiko.
Teenwoordig, Akbar.
Honorable Sonakile.
President Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Sonakile. Honorable Theologo.
Teenwoordig achtbare speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Tlapi.
Ke teng Musa Khotla.
Thank you, Honorable Williams. Honorable Kaba. Nyane ke re ke tlhagise maloko a parlamente gore baagi ba kgone go bona gore re na le bo bishop le baruti mo gare ga rona ka jalo re phela ka mogao. May we now, honorable members, re amogele budget ya Provincial Treasury, vote 7, program by program. Program 1, administration, 174,700,000 rands.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Program 2, sustainable resource management, 136,887,000 rands.
I fete.
Yes.
Thank you. Program 3, asset and liabilities management, 64,621,000 rands.
I fete.
Yes.
Thank you. Program 4, financial governance, 189,700,000 rands.
I fete.
Yes.
Thank you, honorable members. Treasury vote 7 totaling 565,908,000 rand is now adopted by this house. Ra go leboga, honorable MEC.
Malibongwe.
Bongile.
Thank you. Go ya ka kopo ya Sergeant and Arms, honorable members. Speaker. Okay. Thank you, honorable Dukulumela. My apologies, honorable member.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Speaker. EFF reject the budget votes of this department. It must be noted.
Thank you very much. It's noted. Thank you. Ne ke re ke tlhalose gore bagolo go ya ka kopo ya ga Rre Sergeant and Arms so kopa le mo itshwarele gore diakhono tsa rona as and when motlakase o tsamaya di tsaya nako go pick up and re amogela gore go eta go nna tsididinyana ke bone le mme Tlhapi ya lata jase re utlwela botlhoko thata borre ba ba botseng matwadi gore ra itse gore tota go botlhoko tota go gatsela mo letwading so ka jalo re kopa maitato re itshwarele Sergeant and Arms gore matwadi ya ga utlwa mogatselo tonakgolo ga a dire jalo ka bomo Sergeant o kopa maitshwarelo tota o nkwaletse note gore ke mo kopele maitshwarelo ke lebakeng la motlakase fa ntse o tsamaya o bua re leboge bagolo ba rona re tla tsaya tšhono e re biletsa mo seraleng tonakgolo ya rona ya Bokone Bophirima a tla gore tlisetsa tekatekanyetso kabo ya vote 1 ya rona ya Bokone Bophirima tonakgolo Rre Bushika o bitsa maape o na le 40 minutes. Thank you very much, Honorable Sonakile, for the honor for the Honorable Tonakgolo ra leboga.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Deputy Speaker, Honorable Lena Micha, my colleagues, members of the Executive Council, Chief Whip of the Majority Party, Honorable Lazimo Khosi, Chairpersons of Portfolio Committees, leaders of the opposition, Makhosi a rona a nang le rona fa, Khosi Maotwe e le modulasetulo wa ntlo ya sekgosi, Khosi Mabalane, Khosi Shole, Khosi Gasibone, Khosi Mutibi. I also wish to acknowledge and recognize the chairperson of Salga, Executive Mayor Khumalo Molefe. There are also other people I invited to join me in the gallery. I wish to extend a word of welcome to the Dean of the Anglican Church, Dean Seope, Liede van die Noordwest Corporatie, CEOs of entities, veterans of the liberation struggle led by Comrade Letlogile Moseki, John Daba of Mahikeng Digital Hub, Tebogo Musito, the winner of the 2022 Presidential Inaugural SMME Award, Ebi Khomongwe of Leema Technologies, and Mr. and Mrs. Lutlotlo, who are organizing the Lopas Marathon. I also wish to welcome to this speech the Director General, provincial heads of departments, executive and senior managers in the public service, esteemed ladies and gentlemen, Dumelang Bagaetsho. Honorable members, we are meeting here today whilst the dark cloud is hanging over our country due to the deaths of over 20 people in Gauteng and the Free State following the outbreak of cholera. We have moved with speed to activate our Provincial Disaster Management Center, to deploy personnel in areas of risk, and to prepare standby alert capacity to respond in cases of any detection or reporting of new cases in any part of the province. In actual fact, we started the conversation long time ago with MEC Sambata. Just on the day that the detection of cholera was made in Hammanskraal, we started negotiations and we initiated a process of observing developments around that area so that we could be ready if the outbreak overspilled into our province. I wish to take this opportunity on behalf of the provincial government and the people of the Northwest to convey our condolences to our sister provinces, Gauteng and the Free State, the bereaved families, friends, families of those who died as a result of this outbreak. Honorable Speaker, I'm sorry I have a slight touch of flu. Honorable Speaker, we hang our heads in shame for the humiliation and indignity suffered by our infants who were placed in boxes at the Mahikeng Provincial Hospital. I wish to take this opportunity to send my unreserved apology to their mothers, their families, and the people of the province for this insensitive deed. I think we can do better. I have directed the MEC for Health not to rush into quick conclusions, but to conduct a comprehensive inquiry which shall not only determine who is to take responsibility, but most importantly, to inform us of the steps we must take to prevent a repeat of the same or similar neglect of those who must receive services from the public servants. Honorable members, yesterday we announced an extraordinary intervention in the Department of Social Development by placing the MEC as well as the head of the department on leave in order to restore stability in that department. In the intervening period, Honorable Kinetu Museni will act as MEC for Social Development. She will be supported by a team of technocrats led by Mr. Obake Mongale, who will be acting as head of the department. Honorable Speaker, the Office of the Premier is the Center for Policy, Research and Planning.
Honorable Sonakile.
Thank you, Speaker. In terms of the rules, there is a rule that says that matters of public interest must always be given a priority. So I would want to ask a question to the Premier on behalf of the public on the
Thank you
statement
very
he
much,
just made.
Honorable Naide. Le ho ka e kgabisa, in terms of the same rules, the debating member must agree or disagree to take any question. Tona Kgolo, o tla tsaya potso?
I will do that through email.
Thank you very much. Proceed, Tona.
This office also coordinates the functions in areas of policy, planning, monitoring and evaluation, research, human resource practices, international and intergovernmental relations, youth, women, children, and people living with disabilities. We have now emerged from the Section 100 intervention period, and the office has conducted a proper budget structure alignment and shared off some of the functions not suited to the operations of this office. We are now closer to the ideal structure and functionality required of the Central Coordinating Office. The Office of the Premier will continue to strengthen monitoring and evaluation within the province to ensure that departments and SOEs implement provincial and national priorities. This includes providing oversight to matters relating to post-audit action plans, service delivery by departments and municipalities. The Premier will continue to provide this leadership role through one-on-one meetings with MECs, including establishment of oversight committees. In an effort to promote policy coherence and integrated planning across departments, the Office of the Premier will continue to assess the annual performance plans of departments to ensure that they are aligned and responsive to service delivery needs of our people. We have designed a provincial geographic information system in order to capture, store, integrate, analyze, present, and disseminate spatial and geographical data. This application is triggered by the DDM, and it will enable us to collect and store demographic and district profiles. Communities of the province will be able to raise and report service delivery challenges through this web application. This work will be linked to our commitment to establish a command center to monitor service delivery challenges. In fact, we have this command center and we have a toll-free number that one could call. I can just tell you that the results of these calls in the past month, I took flu medication, is making my mouth dry. The information we got over the last month is that most communities in the Northwest complain about water. And their next complaint is roads. So whenever you go to the call center and you look at the logged complaints there, it's usually water. So we look at their service delivery interruptions attended to. Honorable members, we will continue our efforts to attract investments through interactions with mining houses, tourist promotion stakeholders, agricultural sector, and the chambers. We will also extend this effort to foreign governments. And we are planning for this year to travel to Thailand to mobilize investment to our province. South Africa is Thailand's largest trading partner. Thailand is South Africa's largest trading partner in the Asian region. Now, what has happened is that we had correspondence with the ambassador, and we looked at what the Thai people would be interested in terms of our economy. And we also looked at what they are producing, particularly in terms of IT and technology, so that when we do these exchanges, they are not just based on some hypothetical conjecture, but they are based on real information exchange. The province will also host the BRICS ambassadors as part of the national mandate to create awareness of the next 15th BRICS summit that will be held from the 2nd to the 24th August 2023. The province will use the opportunity to discuss issues of mutual interest, especially potential investments from the BRICS countries. Sorry. I have mandated the leader of government business, Honorable Nono Maloi, to work with departments of economic development, environment, conservation and tourism, agriculture and rural development, arts, culture, sports and recreation, public works, roads, as well as community safety and transport management, to prepare a detailed investment profile of the province, so that when we go to the BRICS summit, we can market effectively opportunities that are existing in the province. South Africa is focusing on opportunities that will generate economic growth on the continent, particularly through the African Continental Free Trade Area and the building of infrastructure. We are looking at alternatives. We have noted that the Northern Cape has discovered its niche in terms of solar energy. And we are also investigating our niche in terms of platinum beneficiation related to alternative sources of energy. And so we think that this may be our strength. We are moving with speed to prioritize infrastructure development and expenditure. We are driving this process through the Premier Infrastructure Coordinating Council. The re-establishment of the council is another milestone to unlock bottlenecks in the infrastructure planning and delivery across departments. We have already convened the first meeting to look at the plans for the financial year. The mega infrastructure projects identified by the province will be processed through the PICC, working together with Infrastructure South Africa. I have detected from my colleagues in the Executive Council some impatience with that process of Infrastructure South Africa. What happens is that we prepare bankable projects and we submit them to Infrastructure South Africa. But Infrastructure South Africa has its own process of evaluating these projects. And so we end up phoning Infrastructure South Africa, every week to establish progress in terms of evaluation of these projects. And this impatience is welcome. It's appropriate because all of us want to see these projects hitting the ground in the province. Infrastructure South Africa and Treasury have been engaged to secure funding to deliver these strategic projects that will create much needed jobs for the youth. I won't refer to the National Procurement Bill. I think MEC Khosho adequately covered this bill, except to add that we understand the importance of supporting small and emerging businesses in our communities and are committed to creating equal economic opportunities for all. We remain committed to procurement expenditure spending on set targets for women, youth, and people with disabilities. We have institutionalized capacity in the Office of the Premier for the management of the entire value chain for the recruitment and appointment of HODs in the province. Much progress has been registered in reducing the turnaround time for the filling of positions of HODs. All positions currently vacant have been advertised and will be filled before the end of the second quarter of the current financial year. The Office of the Premier will coordinate and support departments in the recruitment and appointment of suitably qualified and experienced senior public servants. We have directed departments to reduce current vacancy rates in the provincial administration, including in state-owned entities. By filling these posts, they'll be then promoting service delivery and opening entry-level position for unemployed graduates. Honorable members, the final draft of the Memorandum of Understanding with the Northwest University will be signed soon to bolster ongoing partnerships and cooperation on a number of strategic projects. We are really fortunate to have this university in this province, and there's a lot of work that they're doing, and we are looking at them, helping us to improve the capacity of the state through training of in different fields, particularly as it relates to civil servants. We have, this includes the research projects. There's one project installing a gasifier at Kora, and this is being done in partnership with the University of Michigan in the US. We have agreed to extend the work of the panels of experts for the next 4 months to conclude final round of consultations with stakeholders and communities before finalizing their reports. We have agreed to have one single integrated panel of experts to finalize the PGDS strategy, mega projects blueprint, and the review of SOEs. We want to embed our anti-corruption strategy and campaigns in communities in order to build a critical mass of stakeholders who will work with government to rid our province of this cancer of corruption. The Office of the Premier will initiate a series of consultation meetings with the traditional leaders, with business, with civil society, with faith-based organizations to participate in the implementation of the National Anti-Corruption Strategy. This we are going to do in this financial year. We are creating the necessary capacity to drive this process in the Office of the Premier. We will convene the Premier's accountability session, where we'll invite all senior civil servants. The session will culminate in the signing of an anti-corruption commitment pledge by all senior civil servants. We have established regular interaction with law enforcement agencies, particularly the NPA, the Hawks, and the Special Investigation Unit, to urge them to expedite the investigations that are conducted in this province. And sometimes we do get beating from the opposition that we are not moving on cases, but they are not in our hands. They are in the hands of law enforcement agencies. And we continue really to plead with them to expedite the process. The framework to guide the enforcement of financial disclosures for members of the Executive Council has been finalized and shared with members. Final consultations will be conducted soon in order to start with the required disclosures in the 2023-24 financial year. As part of our role to support municipalities, we have already held our first quarter meeting with all municipalities. The focus was to track expenditure and performance, as well as to prepare for the end of 2022-23 financial year. Now we have these regular interactions, formalized in meetings with municipalities, where we discuss problems that are experienced by municipalities. But I can tell you that almost on a daily basis, I call not less than 5 mayors about this or the other problem. And I can assure you that what I always get is cooperation. Whether it's about outage of a service, or whether it's about this or the other problem, I get wonderful cooperation from them. As you know, municipalities are a government on their own. They are an autonomous sphere of government. But we do understand we are one government, and we have to work together to ensure that we bring services to our people. Yes, it's true, even members of the opposition parties phone me and tell you about a sekere dame daar in Swaziland wat my gereeld skakel, en ander dame daar in Lichtenberg wat my gereeld skakel en sê, Premier, hier's 'n probleem, hier's of water of riool of iets soos daai, en ons probeer altyd om positief te reageer. We have refined and revised the performance reporting tool, which has been shared and will be used to monitor and measure performance of municipalities. The Northwest Premier Coordinating Council reporting tool is guided by the Accelerated Service Delivery Program, which focuses on fixing of potholes, clearing of dumping sites, cleaning of graveyards, removal of sewage spillage, provision of water, and refuse collection. Now, you will note that these are the core mandates in terms of the Constitution, the core functions of local municipalities. And we don't distance ourselves from these functions and say, no, they are not our responsibility. There's no budget in the provincial government dedicated to cleaning of graveyards or clearing of dumping sites or removal of. We work together with them. And where we can lend support, we do that. We have noticed that some municipalities have commenced with this process, which we call accelerated service delivery. I know that I've been called by people here in Mafikeng. They say, oh, we see now people are sealing potholes in Rivera Park. When are they coming to Goldview? And so this is a positive message. They can't be in all places at the same time, but at least they are being seen in Rivera Park. So that means they'll move later. Of course, I do, as my colleague, Honorable Maloyi will say, the process is very slow. So we are looking at ways of ensuring that we give some impetus, we give some speed to this process. Honorable members, in our quest to address the water challenges in the province, we have established the Provincial Steering Committee, co-chaired by myself and the Minister of Water and Sanitation. The steering committee has finalized the provincial plan to address water challenges in the following identified water hotspots areas, which are Dichobotla, Tsoaing, Ramotsirimuilwa, Naledi, Mamusa, Makwasi Hills, and Matlosane. We'll soon be launching Operation Bulela Metsi in the entire province. Now, the issue of water is a problem that the minister, the national minister, is devoting attention to. I can tell you that the number of forays, the number of visits he makes into this province is almost one every week. And we are all working together to find solutions to the problem of water. The office has recently communicated with district development model champions to take the lead in convening and institutionalizing DDM meetings at local level. These meetings will also address matters relating to post-audit action plans, budgeting of municipalities, and prioritization of the Accelerated Service Delivery Program. Honorable Speaker and honorable members, we are finalizing the establishment of a provincial team that will work on the development of the provincial 30-year review report project. This report will be used to feed into the national government project and will also become the provincial report for the past 30 years. We have developed a 6-month plan to stabilize our information and technology environment, which for many years has been extremely unstable. We are working with SETA to finalize the migration process to the new mainframe. As part of providing uninterrupted power, the Department of Public Works is completing the commissioning of new generators to stabilize the ICT system operations. New uninterrupted power supply machines have been procured to provide power supply when current generators fail. We have also appointed a troubleshooting team of senior officials to monitor potential outage of ICT system in government. The Office of the Premier has started with the Network Modernization Program in collaboration with the Department of Arts, Culture, Sports and Recreation. The program is intended to provide internet services to 123 libraries, allowing communities to access the internet in libraries in their communities. Furthermore, the program includes an upgrade of the network for 102 administrative sites, ensuring that provincial departments have enough network capacity to provide efficient and effective services all over the province. We are dedicated to ensuring that this program becomes a success and that it provides real benefits to our communities. We are improving our communications, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, to keep our communities informed about the work of government. For this financial year, the Executive Council, supported by the Office of the Premier, will hold regular media briefings to inform the public on EXCO decisions on various programs and projects. We are encouraging our communities to follow and get accurate information through our various communication platforms. Our country opted for participatory democracy to give effect to the constitutional commitment to ensure the centrality of the people in governance. The Northwest Province hosted the relaunching of the Imbizo program through the presidential Imbizo held in March 2022 in Mahikeng. The Office of the Premier has developed a framework for the Premier's Community Outreach Program. The framework provides for 3 programs to be convened, namely Imbizo by each district, roving EXCO in identified areas, and visits to district hosted by each district. Honorable members, Honorable Speaker, the province facilitated the participation of our provincial children's ambassador, Dame Mary Ann Pretorius, Elena from Mahikeng High School, to represent the voice of the children during the National Summit on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide. For the current financial year, the Office of the Premier will facilitate the establishment of children's rights councils at local, district, and provincial levels to strengthen leadership and accountability across the 3 spheres of government. We will increase spending on women, youth, and people with disabilities to an amount of 29.6 million, which is more than the threshold of 25% for the designated groups. We will continue to pay special attention to the socio-economic conditions of military veterans, older persons, and liberation struggle stalwarts. Honorable members, the fight against HIV and AIDS remains one of the key focus areas of this administration. We have strengthened the capacity of the Provincial Council on Aid Secretariat by approving a new structure. We have commenced with the filling of vacant posts, including that of the head of Secretariat. We have further strengthened civil society support by matching sector departments with civil society representatives who share a common goal in line with the National Strategic Plan for HIV and AIDS, STIs, and TB. There are currently debates to elevate the fight against gender-based violence to the same level that HIV and AIDS is receiving attention, so that there should be local, district, provincial structures, and regular meetings to talk about the fight against gender-based violence. We recently hosted the Deputy President, His Excellency Paul Mashatile, during the World TB Day as part of our work. We are improving our interventions and coordination of the multi-sectoral aid response in the province. We will monitor the work of the departments in relation to HIV and AIDS. This will be cascaded to districts and local municipalities. In partnership with the NYDA, the province will be hosting the National Youth Opportunities Roadshow on the 2nd of June in Setlagole, Ratlow Local Municipality, as part of the Presidential Youth Employment Intervention. The intervention seeks to transition young people along multiple pathways to employment and participation in the economy. During the month of June, the office will lead major initiatives working with various sectors to fund critical skills development initiatives by the province. We are in discussions, advanced discussions with Mersita to fund training of youth in the installation of solar panels. We will further use the SITAs to train engineers for local municipalities. One of the reasons why municipalities cannot spend the money allocated to infrastructure is the paucity of suitably qualified engineers in these municipalities. If you go to a municipality like Makwasi Hill, there's no engineer. If you go to a municipality like Kagisano Molopo, there's no engineer. So this a plan that was devised by a copter.
Honorable Tonokolo, just a question, if we'll try to move his speed. Just a question. Just
Thank
proceed.
you.
won't
I
stop
will
you.
do that. The strategy devised by a copster and which we support is to speak to the university to assist us in identifying engineers who have to do some practice work, and for them to be deployed at municipalities, but then for a mentor to be appointed to assist them. Because if we do not close this gap of availability of engineers in municipalities, we will always complain about the issue of municipalities to space, like St. John's Church of Prophecy in Motlolo, to do certain things there in communities. We want to report to you for the 2023-24 financial year is as follows. Administration, 128,124,000 rand. Program 2, institutional development support, 247,535,000 rand. Program 3, policy and governance, 106,543,000 rand. The total coming to 482,201,000 rand. Honorable members, it is appropriate during this month, the Youth Month, that I take this opportunity to pay tribute in things to inspire us and their generation in their various endeavors. I think here of the young lady, and I think she is in the audience up there, Tlotlo Lekgoane, a young lady from Untsiwa Township, who continues to defy the odds despite her condition of low pass. This past weekend, she and others organized a 10-kilometer walk in Mahikeng to raise awareness about her condition. She is my special guest. We find in our path. I also want to take off my hat, for I am not a fan of any soccer club, but problem I call it, and then they advise me. And Honorable Deputy is up there in the gallery. I also want to.
Thank you very much, Honorable Dona. Thank you very much, honorable members. I will now call upon, or before that, Dona Kgolo will request that Tswana, the Portfolio Committee Chairperson, Ramotswana, you may come and present the report of the committee. You have 9 minutes.
No, ke a leboga Musa Kgotla, me Susana Danki, the Honorable Deputy Speaker, me Lena Mecha, the Honorable Premier Rebushmape, the Honorable members of the Executive, members of the Northwest Provincial Legislature, the chairperson of the House of Traditional Leaders, the chairperson of Salga Northwest, Honorable district mayors who are here, honorable councillors,